Well, should Elon Musk step down as the head of Twitter? That's exactly the question he asked in a poll over the weekend, and the people have spoken. With over 17 million participants, more than 57% saying yes, Musk should step down. He claims he will abide by the results, meaning he could potentially step down less than 2 months after taking over control of the social media platform. Hedge fund manager and host of the podcast, The Drill Down, Corey Johnson, joins us live. Corey, thank you for giving us some of your time here. How likely is it that Musk will, in fact, honor the results of this Musk-created poll?
Why wouldn't we believe Elon Musk? He says he's going to honor the poll, but I don't know who else wants that job. Twitter has been eviscerated under the stewardship of Elon Musk. They've fired employees left, right, and center. The ability to manage the place has got to be more difficult these days. A lot of the people who've left on their own accord because they didn't want to work there. Others who just found their jobs that would show up for one day that weren't there the next, then were asked to come back again. It's a big mess. It's a hot mess right down the street here at Twitter. And I don't know who wants that job, including Elon Musk, apparently.
All right. So, Corey, he not only created the poll, he then tweeted yesterday, quote, "No one wants the job who can actually keep Twitter alive. There is no successor." So let's say Musk does, in fact, step down. Then what happens next with this platform?
Well, I think it's an open question, right? The ability of this company to make money has been hindered by his acquisition of the company, not because it was already not a great business, but he has saddled them with so much debt costs that were about less than $20 million a year are now over $1 billion a year for Twitter, which is already an unprofitable company. So he has made it a lot more difficult to manage that company. He's opened it up to new risks. And yes, new criticism, doing things like last week, pulling down the accounts of journalists who were reporting about his coverage of Twitter, saying that they were releasing or promulgating information about where his private jet was. He doesn't like people talking about his private jet, just his rocket ships, I guess. But what it looks like is just a hot mess over there, and a midlife crisis done like only a billionaire can.
So, Corey, you just talked about earnings there. You cover business. Is this all just a ploy by Musk to keep Twitter in the headlines and help generate some of that much needed revenue?
Well, I think, Elon's been very active on Twitter for a very long time, long before he got involved in this company. He banned me, he blocked me from following his own account probably 6 years ago because he didn't like what I was doing back when I was a financial journalist covering Twitter and, of course, covering, I should say, SpaceX and Tesla and so on. So I think that, he's going to be in the headlines because he wants to be in the headlines and he wants to make a lot of noise. He was, of course, at the World Cup game yesterday, a fantastic game, watching it with Jared Kushner and some people in the Middle East, enjoying the billionaire lifestyle that he gets to enjoy. But I think that his focus on the company or lack thereof is what's really hurting him.
All right, Corey, thank you so much for your time. Well, speaking of Twitter, thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.